For years, the fastest production car on Earth had to be a Bugatti, a Koenigsegg, or an American 5.8 monster. Then, in 2025, an electric hypercar from China reached 496.22 km per hour and changed the order completely. This is the countdown of the 10 fastest road-legal production cars ever measured in real high-speed runs. One important rule before we begin: these records were not all set under identical conditions. Some are one-way maximum speeds, while others are averages from two opposite direction runs. We are ranking the highest speed each production model actually demonstrated, and we will clearly explain the difference. Theoretical claims are not included. That means cars such as the Koenigsegg Agera Absolute do not enter the list until they prove their predicted speed on a real track. Number 10. Bugatti Veyron Super Sport, 431.072 km per hour. In June 2010, Bugatti test driver Pierre-Henri Raffinel drove the Veyron Super Sport in both directions on Volkswagen's Era Lessien test track in Germany. The two-run average was 431.072 km per hour, or 267.856 miles per hour. Unlike many modern one-way attempts, this result followed the traditional two-direction format used to reduce the effect of wind and track gradient. The Veyron Super Sport produced 1,200 horsepower from its quad-turbo W16. It needed enormous cooling systems, specially developed tires, and active aerodynamics just to remain stable near 430 km per hour. More than 15 years later, that speed is still enough for the top 10. Number 9. Rimac Nevera R, 431.45 km per hour. The Rimac Nevera R beats the Veyron by less than half a kilometer per hour, but it reaches that speed without an internal combustion engine. 4 electric motors produce a combined 2,107 horsepower. Rimac's torque vectoring system can adjust the power sent to each wheel 100 times per second. During independently verified testing in 2025, the Nevera R reached 431.45 km per hour, or 268.2 miles per hour. The same program produced 24 performance records. The Nevera R accelerated from 0 to 400 km per hour and returned to a complete stop in 25.79 seconds. Only 40 examples were planned, each costing approximately €2.3 million. Number 8. Hennessey Venom GT, 435.31 km per hour. At number 8 is a car built around a simple idea: combine extreme power with very low weight. The Hennessey Venom GT used a 7-liter, twin-turbocharged V8 producing 1,244 horsepower. Its structure was based on the Lotus Exige, but the finished car was longer, wider, and radically more powerful. On February 14, 2014, driver Brian Smith reached 435.31 km per hour, or 270.49 miles per hour, on the Space Shuttle landing runway at Kennedy Space Center. The speed was measured, but the run was completed in only one direction because NASA did not allow a return pass. For that reason, it did not take the official two-way Guinness title from the Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. Still, the Venom GT proved that a small American manufacturer could exceed 270 miles per hour with a customer specification car. Number 7. Hennessey Venom F5, 437 km per hour. Hennessey followed the Venom GT with a completely new machine, the Venom F5. Its 6.6-liter, twin-turbo V8, called Fury, produces 1,817 horsepower. The body is shaped to minimize drag while keeping the car stable at speeds that Hennessey hopes will eventually exceed 300 miles per hour. During high-speed development testing, the F5 reached 437 km per hour, or 271.6 miles per hour. This was not the car's claimed final maximum. It was the highest published measured speed from the testing program. Hennessey continues to target a higher two-way run, but predicted performance does not count in this ranking. Number 6. Bugatti Chiron Super Sport, 440 km per hour. The regular Bugatti Chiron Super Sport is different from the limited 300+ record edition that appears later in this countdown. Bugatti developed this long-tail series production model for stable, repeatable performance at up to 440 km per hour, or 273 miles per hour. During its development program, engineers tested the car at that speed on the high-speed track. Its 8-liter, quad-turbo W16 produces 1,600 horsepower and 1,600 Nm of torque. The body is longer than the standard Chiron, reducing aerodynamic drag, while a revised chassis and specially developed Michelin tires keep the car controlled beyond 400 km per hour. Unlike the record-focused 300+, the Chiron Supersport was designed as a high-speed grand tourer that could deliver its performance with the full luxury of a normal Bugatti. Number 5. Koenigsegg Agera RS, 446.97 km per hour. The Koenigsegg Agera RS holds one of the cleanest and most respected results in the entire top speed debate. On November 4, 2017, Nevada closed an 11-mile section of public highway for the attempt. Factory driver Nicholas Lelia completed runs in both directions using a customer-owned Agera RS. The average was 446.97 km per hour, or 277.87 miles per hour. One of the individual passes reached an even higher speed, but the official result was the two-way average. The Agera RS used a 5-liter, twin-turbo V8 producing up to 1,360 horsepower on E85 fuel. It also had active aerodynamics and a removable roof. If this list required every car to complete a two-way average under the same traditional format, the Agera RS would be the benchmark to beat. Number 4. Bugatti W16 Mistral, 453.91 km per hour. At number 4 is the fastest open-top production car ever measured. The Bugatti W16 Mistral reached 453.91 km per hour, or 282 miles per hour, at the ATP Automotive Testing Facility in Papenburg, Germany, in November 2024. Andy Wallace drove the record car with no roof above his head. At that speed, airflow around the cockpit had to be controlled precisely enough to protect the driver while keeping the car stable. The Mistral uses the final 1,600 horsepower version of Bugatti's 8-liter W16. The production run was limited to 99 cars, while the specially finished world record car became a one-off example. The result gave Bugatti one last W16 speed record before production of the engine ended. Number 3. SSC Tuatara, 474.8 km per hour. The SSC Tuatara enters the top 3 with a measured speed of 474.8 km per hour, or exactly 295 miles per hour. SSC's original 2020 record claim became controversial after inconsistencies were found in the published video and speed data. Instead of using that disputed number, this ranking uses the transparent 2022 attempt. During that run, RaceLogic recorded the speed with 2 VBOX satellite systems, while an additional GPS unit collected separate data. The Tuatara reached 295 miles per hour before running out of runway. Its 5.9-liter, twin-turbo V8 can produce up to 1,750 horsepower on E85. SSC says the car was still accelerating at the end of the run, but only the measured 295 mile-per-hour figure counts here. Number 2. Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300+. 490.484 km per hour. For 6 years, this was the number everyone was trying to beat. On August 2, 2019, Andy Wallace drove a near-production Bugatti Chiron derivative to 490.484 km per hour, or 304.773 miles per hour, at Arles. It was the first time a production-based car had crossed the 300 mile-per-hour barrier. The run took place in one direction, and the record vehicle was a pre-production prototype. Bugatti later built 30 Chiron Supersport 300+ customer cars based closely on the record machine. Its W16 produced 1,600 horsepower, while the body used a longer tail to reduce aerodynamic drag and improve stability. For years, 490.484 km per hour looked almost untouchable. Number 1. Yangwang U9 Extreme, 496.22 km per hour. The fastest production car ever measured is the Yangwang U9 Extreme. On September 14, 2025, German driver Marc Bassing reached 496.22 km per hour, or 308.33 miles per hour, at ATP Papenburg. The U9 Extreme uses 4 electric motors producing more than 3,000 metric horsepower in total. Its 1,200-volt electrical system, high-discharge blade battery, semi-slick tires, and actively controlled suspension were developed specifically for extreme speed. Yangwang announced a limited production run of 30 cars, allowing the U9 Extreme to be presented as a production model rather than a one-off prototype. The result surpassed the Chiron Supersport 300 Plus by 5.736 km per hour. More significantly, an electric car took the overall production car speed record away from combustion-powered hypercars. The U9 Extreme did not win through engine noise or a massive W16. It won through 4 electric motors, precise software control, and more than 3,000 horsepower. So the current number 1 is not a Bugatti, a Koenigsegg, or a Hennessey. It is the electric Yangwang U9 Extreme at 496.22 km per hour. But the record is not completely settled. The Koenigsegg Agera Absolute and Hennessey Venom F5 are both designed for speeds above 300 miles per hour, and neither has yet completed its final maximum speed attempt. Until a higher measured run happens, the U9 Extreme sits at the top. If you enjoyed the countdown, subscribe to Peak Selects for more ranked stories from cars, football, history, and the limits of human engineering.